Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream. I'm right at the end of this raid. I thought I timed it better than this, but I did not. So, I am, and it's kind of a stressful ending here because everyone kind of went at once, and it's kind of annoying. Because I have to, like, join people. Oh, no. Let's send you there, then. That's unfortunate for my rallies. Oh my god, it's Kalino. Whoa, there's three of me? Oh, there is three of me. I didn't fix this. Hey, surprise, I was working on my overlay last night. And I didn't fix it. Which one is it? You'll never know. Which one is it? Who's real? Who's fake? You'll never know. You'll never find out. You'll never take me alive. I'm almost done with this raid. I just need a couple more seconds. Oh shit, no, that's my worst rally. Fuck. I need somebody else to come back. Okay. We're back. Don't worry about it. We're not back. We're back, baby. We're back. I made it in. I missed a couple of raids this time around. I wouldn't be surprised if I did poorly. AKA somebody else beat me. Oh, someone else might beat me. They are 1 million behind me. Oh, yeah, I can't show you anything. Because you'll never see. Where? Hold on. One of me is going to have to disappear. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Oh, you still can't see it. This is me. I'm that one. I'm the green one. That one's me. Oh, I'm 6 million apart now from the last person. We're getting there. Oh, I think the last person might have waited. Maybe. No. They're right here. They'll make it. Okay. How did that do for us? Okay, we're 20 million away from each other. I think we're good here. I think we're Gucci. I've had to edit so many ads for this game. Whiteout Survival. Let me tell you, I've been getting a ton of the other game that I've just found out of this for this company, Century Games or something like that. I just recognized the bear. Let's find out. How do we do? Let's go. Still got 5th. That was close though. That almost was bad. It's basically impossible for me to get into the top 4 right now because all of them have a higher expert level than I do. And there's not much I can do about that right now. It's a little expensive to get there, so. Oh, I guess let's see. I can turn off that. There we go. And then names. Nope. Names. Yes. Yeah, I just found it's like Kill Shot or something like that. King Shot. I thought it was like a cool game, and it's one of those commercials that's like, you'll never get any ads in this game. No ads, no ads. And like, obviously they're spending so much money on marketing, so like obviously there has to be ads, or there has to be some money making scheme. And I do know the money making scheme. The money making scheme is simply I did not hit a PB. I'm nowhere close to my next PB. My next PB is my PB is 1.9. And since other people have joined, I've not reached my PB. Yeah, since we've had other stronger players join, people want to join them and not me. So I get like the sloppy seconds essentially. I'm actually working really hard to try and get this, but the reason why they'll always beat me is because their talent's higher. So like I only get a 15% damage boost or boost on my points. Everyone else is getting like those top 4 are getting like over 20%. So I simply am not going to get there until I do in fact spend the stuff for it. However, it ain't the cheapest, fam. I'm mostly free to play in this game. So to advance this relationship, I have to use these little sigils. But as you can see, I only have 6 specific sigils for this person, but I do have 48 of the normal sigils. So I will spend these. I'm waiting to spend them for points. And here's the problem. They're also going to spend some for points in our next event. So like, I'm not going to catch up anyways. But I can only upgrade once, right? So I'm only going to get to 18%. I'm not even going to reach, I'm not even going to reach 20% next time. Unless I spend like $10, I think, and then I might reach it. I don't think so. I have to get 30. And yeah, none of this will really help any of that. I can't even upgrade any of that because I only go up to casual next level, affinity casual 3. I'm only casual 2. I have to reach casual 3 to get to close 1. And that's when, oh, and also apparently my troops attacks also improves as these improve. So yeah, I'm just cooked, fam. I'm cooked to do well. So like, I just have to accept that I'll try to get 5th and just be happy with it, honestly. I knew this day was coming eventually because I used to top frag that event. Well, at least now I can fix this. I used to top frag that event, but now I no longer do because they added that new mechanic. The other thing we're doing tonight is we're listening to Miss Taylor Swift because we're listening to the Tortured Poets Department because this is her last album that came out, and her new album comes out in, hold on, we can find out. Taylor Swift. Her new album comes out in 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 42 seconds. That's plenty of time for us to listen to the Torture Poet Department's. See? 2 hours and 2 minutes. For the anthology, let's go. Starting off with Fortnite featuring Post Malone. I mean, top 5 is pretty solid considering. Yeah, I'm not thinking, it's just a little disappointing, you know? Because I did top frag for a long time in that game, or for that event. And like, I knew it was coming, but it was just like a point of pride that I was beating like pay to win people because I knew what I was doing. I was like gaming the event. But like now we've taught other people how to play the event. So now they know how to do it. Let's see. Let me do list 1. I'm Lead Mango. So any occasion you see Lead Mango here, this is in the order it lists out, which means that it's listed out in damage. So top did most damage, bottom did least damage. And as you can see, I'm pretty up there for most of these. Going back to when is this? The beginning of June, end of May. I was pretty much at the top of all of these. The people who beat me for the most part were our money spenders. And as you can see here, July, going straight across, top frag that entire month or that entire 2 weeks. Then basically the same thing the subsequent weeks. And then this is I think my last week of glory. Oh no, this is still August. I might still have a little bit of time. But top fragging all of those weeks. Each one of these groups is a week, by the way. And here we could see I start losing it. And I think this is when experts were introduced. And yeah, there we go. I'm now consistently 3rd through 5th, depending on various things. But it's because we changed how things work, so everyone has a fair chance to get a bunch of points. Which, like, that's so good. I'm so happy because overall we're all getting more points, and points is really what matters for that event. Your rewards are dependent on points, but yeah. I've pretty much like plateaued. Most of the people above me are going up on score. I've went down and now I've plateaued at a lower score. I was gunning to get that 2 billion before I lost a bunch of points because people didn't want to join me. Let me turn all of that off. Oh man, how am I gonna do this, bro? How am I gonna do this? Do I even still have... Uh-oh. No, that's not the right overlay. We can put that one up. It'll look nice, I guess. Is it this image? Oh, thank God. Oh, we figured it out. And now where the hell is this webcam? Hi, hello. Again, we don't see me because I look down when I'm playing here. And that's why you get me down here. Hello. But I was working on the overlay earlier today. So that's why you got to see me. Little surprise me for both of us. All right. We're working on game prep for Asher's Rage. Let me drink some water, though. I was wondering why it was so hot. I was fixing my light. I was telling you guys yesterday how I actually fixed it. And I was adjusting it to figure out where I needed it. Because I turned it on earlier today to work on overlay stuff. Sorry, you guys are getting away from me as my desk goes down. Oh, God. Oh, I'm flying. Now this is a good height. Yeah, I was working on overlay stuff, so I was looking at myself. That's why there's 3 of me. Because here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. Oh boy, hold on. Let me turn on everything again. I couldn't realize why I was so sweaty. It's because I had my light on. Where are my webcams? Let's put the overlay on and let's get that other webcam on. Let's turn this one off. Let me also do that. So my plan is, oh, let me turn off that image also. My plan is to have us empty like this. And have a very small edge here on the side because I think it would be cool. So again, Asher's Ridge is a game in which you are an actor playing out a scene in a paranormal TV show. Like we are David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson in X-Files. I think those are their actors' names. That is who we are. You need to buy another desk? Buy another desk. They're generally not that expensive anymore. If you buy a cheap one, they're not that expensive and also not too bad. At least in my small experience. So we had so yeah, so that's who we are. We're like actors. during the game, we will be discussing what the next scene is going to be and how we're going to set up. And then, you know, we get in character and boom, we play the scene out. But we're like choosing the location. We're choosing the people who are going to be in the scene. And what the scene is going to be about all before the scene happens. And then we play the scene out. And we see what happens through the scene, right? So we are going to be acting in the show, right? So all three of us have background removal technology. Namely, Trooper and other Doc have green screens. So if they just have their green screen on for me, I can key it out and then we have a background. And then now I can change the background of us to some scene, right? I know what the locations are going to be that are going to be available to us. So I will be able to pick out locations or like images for those locations. And I'm also thinking of I haven't done it. I was going to do it last night, but then I got distracted with all of this. I had the thought of figuring out how to do some sort of like opacity over the screen. Like this opacity is 170. This is a really heavy opacity, right? Like if I were to put me back here, I'm blacked out, right? But I'm thinking of doing something like this, or like a glow around the edge of the screen, your screen, the stream's screen, that will signify if it's day or night. To try and, so I'll just have a button where it turns on that filter, aka just like a layer, an opaque layer, or I guess not opaque. I always think opaque is the one where it's transparent and it's not, but a mostly transparent screen that just has a little bit of tint to it, that I'll overlay over the majority of things. And then from there, I want to have three. I want to have nighttime, but like TV night, not Game of Thrones night, but like old school TV where it's like blue and bright outside, you know? So you can see. And then I also want a daytime, so something a little bit more bright, more whitish white, or yellowish white, I mean. Whitish white. And then I also want like a warmer tone for like when you're inside at night. And I think those are all I'll need. I can think of several other situations, like something that's very dimly lit. And maybe I should do a very dimly lit one where like the light comes up from just above us. And then it's dark under us. Or like it's a triangle light, so it's like bright up here and then it becomes darker as we go. The thing I'm struggling the most with this overlay, by the way, is having us three across here. And my struggle is that the middle one is going to be the focal point, right? And unfortunately for me, that's me. It's going to be me in the middle. And then we'll have Trooper and other Doc on my sides. And I'm going to be the focal point, right? But I don't want that. I want it to be all of us. So ideally, I would offset this, you know, have us one on top of the other. But I don't think that's going to work. I also had an idea. The other reason I had these out is because I was playing with this. Give me a second. I was playing with this where we could like reach into each other's cells, essentially our windows, to like interact with each other's scene. And like with the cool line here that you go across, so like it looks like you're reaching across, you know? But I don't think it's gonna work. Because I want to get as much of us as we can in this frame. And unfortunately, that means that we're going to be in each other's like way a lot if we do that. Again, once again, mainly me and also them, because I'll reach over. Sorry, I thought I had extended myself, but I had not. And like, while they are also in my screen, I'm also in theirs. I'm going to be in theirs a lot, right? So even if I throw myself in the back like I am here and they're in front of me, they are going to be in my way, essentially. And I'm going to be in their way. So I'm thinking about it. I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to need to test it out with some people who can green screen out there, or who can throw up a green screen or some screen that I can chroma key out. Or like throw in some sort of background that I can chroma key out. Because I can throw in like a green background on mine because I'm using NVIDIA's thing, so I can throw in the background on mine through a million ways. Yeah, so that was another thing I was testing, and I don't know if I like that or not. This song, by the way, went crazy on tour. Have you guys ever watched the Eras Tour? Eras Tour for specifically the Tortured Poets department. The whole tour is great, but the Tortured Poets department part of the tour went crazy. All right, now, oh yeah, and I'm playing around with the overlay. Right now it's big and chunky because I'm just trying to get the, situate us on the screen and see how much room I have for activities. So I have us, and then you guys saw the names down below. Not that one, that one's funky because I've never fixed it. But like these two, I have like this going on, right? I don't know what I did, but the fonts are different. Like, this one has a lot going on with it. Oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. You. Oh boy. Because I copy pasted some stuff, but like, it's not you. Is it this one? Yeah, look, like that Trooper SJP, that's the wrong font. And unfortunately for me, I don't know how to get the correct font out here because I've looked for it and it's band shrift. It's band shrift condensed. But when I look at the other ones, it's band shrift condensed. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? But like, also, this isn't the font. This is not the correct font. Like, do you change to the other fonts? You do change to the other fonts. And why are you being a bitch when it comes to band shrift? I got so frustrated with this when I was working on it that I just like left it. Which is why everything looked the way it did when I first came on. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know why it's like such a different font than like what I'm looking at. Like, did we update a font, babe? Like, what's the vibe here? Because there's only one band shrift. Like, what? I don't know what else you want from me. And it's supposed to look that way, but it doesn't change. It stays like this really cartoony, round font. What kind of desk are you looking for, Kalino? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Also, if the music is loud, let me know. So, like, I've been copy and pasting things. Yeah, it says it's band shrift condensed. And when I go and look for it to like select the fonts, it doesn't give me that font. It gives me a different font. And like it's not that font. So I'm like left like, what do you want from me? You know? It gives me like the default segues say UI. And it gives me that font. And like it looks exactly the same. I don't know exactly what they want from me. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm kind of I feel um I need to do some research on I need to do research on my webcam. I need to do research on Twin Peaks. I've never watched Twin Peaks. When people would talk about Twin Peaks, I didn't realize it was a show for the longest time. I had no idea that was a show until I think maybe like a couple of years back. Oh, let me go to this. I just turned everything off. Sorry. I also want you guys to know I am on a timer. I simply will be going offline and sitting here and listening to the new album, The Life of a Showgirl. I heard a spoiler about the album that's been all over Twitter, and I immediately got off Twitter. It was the bad decision I made as soon as I woke up. So I'm a little bit spoiled on one of the songs. I'm kind of upset about it because it apparently a scathing song, and I'm very excited to hear it. I need to reply to a message before I forget. Because I feel bad saying no to something. I always feel bad saying no to things. Even if like I have a phenomenal reason for not being able to participate in something. Let's see. So let's throw that one out because I feel bad saying no, but like it is what it is. Sometimes it's not gonna work out. I forgot to turn on literally everything. Let me turn on StreamerBot real quick. Why did that turn off? Is it because it's whatever? So long, London. Okay, there we go. StreamerBot is now on. Oh, we have to wait for it to connect. Partially connected. Partially connected. There we go. 3 out of 3. Let's go. Also, I have a new command. And that's Meet Circus for the itch jam we are doing of the same name. And Meet Circus Jam. So last time, okay, so there's a couple of things that have happened since I worked on this last. There we go. The few things that I have done differently here is I need to turn on my light. So I had my light on so I could get some real light on this, and also let me turn off my night light, even though it doesn't matter too much right now. In fact, I might just turn on. Okay, it's still on. Okay. I will take off my glasses though. Because those suckers are just slipping off my face. Oh, I pushed a button and I was terrified. Oh no, someone replied and I took off my glasses. I keep pressing buttons outside of the screen and I'm terrified I'm gonna like turn off stream or something. Yeah, so what I've done is if you look at these large numbers up top, I've doubled the size of our canvas once again, or image resolution, I should say. Uh-oh. There we go. So it is now 21,000 by 16,000. Which is real large, but it's because up here, I didn't like how it looked like this. So now I also, I was talking to my friend Nilly, good friend of the channel. Hey Nilly. She was telling me about vector layers and how apparently vector layers let you do this. Can you guys see that? You guys can. It like lets you plot points, so like you can move them around after you've drawn them. And the other like advantage of vector lines is that they scale up and scale down and don't have what we have here, which is where things got blurry. You can even see it over here on these lines. There was a little bit of artifacting and a little bit of just blurriness that has occurred. Bleeding almost between the lines. And so Nelly taught me about vector lines. Yeah, vectors, yeah. So now I know all about that. As I told you guys before, I wasn't too worried about it when it came to I wasn't too worried about it with what we have here. Not only because we're not keeping these colors. These colors aren't the same way, and none of the lines I've placed on the screen are permanent, you know? Nothing here is... Oh, sorry. Let me just move that. Permanent. So, and in fact, it almost behooves me to have these be a little blurry because it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable placing these lines how I want them to be. Not having to be exactly on this because they are blurry. So quite literally the lines are blurred. So like where I have this is going to be up to me where this line is. Something like that. So so yeah, so now I know. This is for personal use again. So it's not the biggest of deals whether or not I decide if I want to make these thicker or not. My hand's a little sweaty. Oh my god, so big. Get smaller, bud. I'm still keeping the pixelated lines. I'm not going for like the cleaner lines or like the more anti-alias lines. I am going for the rougher lines because stylistically that's how these maps kind of feel to me. Whenever I see the elevation lines, they look a little like crackly. That's an official term, crackly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. It was just saving. It is a big, it has become a big file, so I understand. Part of me is trying to decide whether or not I want to have these on different layers. These elevation lines and the other stuff. You know what I also have to learn how to do? I need to learn how to do masks. That's the other thing. Every time I feel like I know how to do masks, I like after I watch a tutorial, I will just completely forget everything after the fact. Dude, like you're not even working, bud. You're right on this arm, so I'm talking to my fan. I have it right here, so like my palms don't get, my hand doesn't get sweaty, so I can move it along the screen, see like smoothly. But like the meaty part of my palm is sweating, and that is dragging on this. That is causing me some drag, and it's not even like sweaty, like there's rivulets of water falling off of it. It's more and it's just like slightly damp, which is almost worse because at least if it were wet, it would still slide. As gross as that might be, it's just slightly damp. And not in like a discernible, let me dry it off kind of way, but in a, I'm gonna fuck up your day kind of way. I don't know what that was. I had a fear there. It moved me to a different layer for some reason. My lines aren't very smooth and it's pissing me off. There's something under my keyboard that is causing it to be like super seesawy. There we go. By the way, still not used to the new interface from Google Pixel, and I'm still pissed about it, if anyone was curious. how that's been progressing since last night. I'm mad about it, and according to the internet, there's no way for me to fix it unless I go back and turn off those turn off the updates themselves, which sucks. It makes it look like a cheap Android. If you guys are aware of like the interfaces from cheap Androids, that's what it looks like now. And I'm mad about it. Dude, after this, I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich because I'm not actually that hungry. I had a really good chimichanga. I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich, a nice turkey sandwich. And I'm gonna get some chips. I got some hot Cheetos yesterday. So I'm gonna eat some hot Cheetos. You know what? I'm just gonna turn off this light. I think it's hurting more than helping. This song, by the way, changed my life the first time I heard it. It's so good. I love Florence Welch is pops off. I'm not gonna lie, she does her thing. She has such like a quality to her voice that is so unbelievably unique to anything I've ever heard before. And I love that kind of voice. This is also a great song. Flowing in the West Nile. I always want to say West Nile. Do I have 90s kids drama? Maybe. I need to put this over here because I never know the names of these songs. The crime. I did it again. I pressed space outside of the screen and I felt terror only in my heart. Dude, I think it's literally the cord of the actual keyboard that keeps finding its way back under my keyboard and it's causing me issues. Dude, let me tell you, every day I live in this life, I more and more want to go back to a small keyboard and just have a number pad on the side or something. Like, I'm the #1 number pad lover. I love a good number pad. Ever since I worked at Blockbuster, I love number pads. But my god. Oh, I have to write this one in because it's such a specific number. I can do whatever the hell I want with my brush, with my eraser. But I want my map and to be pretty exact. It was so funny, but yeah, Nilly was telling me about this, and it was really funny because I don't know if you guys have ever seen Nilly's art process, but Nilly loves herself a good vector pen. She loves vector pens. Like she plays with the pen all the time. She loves changing her pens. But like you know, the ones where you draw a line and then you, oh, I guess I could show you. Like this, the ones where there's only a couple of lines here. And so like she has to sort of like play this game often. And like that's her, all she does is play with vectors and pens and stuff like that. Like that is her style. And that's why she's the one who told me, right, how vector and rasterized layers work and all of that. And she was telling me, because she was like, what do you use? You use Clip Studio, GIMP? Like, what's the vibe? And I was like, oh, I use Clip Studio. And she like got really animated in describing vector stuff to me. And she told me, yeah, I've been meaning to switch over for a while. But Nilly has been using Adobe for longer than some children in schools have been alive. So it's been a rough thing to like ask herself to do. And like as she was describing how these pens and these tools worked, I was like, Nilly, this is literally your art style. Why haven't you switched yet? Like this is literally your jam. And she was like, I know. I'm somehow grabbing like a guide or something when I do that. I think I'm gonna do the other lines on a different layer. And then if I have to switch something on this big layer, I can just do that. My god, but yeah, I keep wanting to go back to like my cheap Red Dragon keyboard that's I think it's 75%. Specifically so I don't have this issue. So what's happening is I have a large mat, right? To a large mouse mat. And here where I am sitting is the middle. To my right, I have about 65% of my extra part of my mouse mat on my right side, because that's where I use my mouse and stuff. And then on my left side, I have less room over there, but I still have room because I have a large keyboard that reaches to that direction. However, when I sit down and I move my my drawing tablet towards me, I take up the middle, again, the middle of the area where I usually am. And I have more room on my right side still than my left side. However, I don't do anything on the right side because I'm right-handed, so I'm drawing with my right hand. And the left-hand side of my desk is where I have my keyboard. But because it's a large keyboard and a small section, even if I had more keyboard or more mouse mat over here, it wouldn't really solve that much of an issue. Because I angle my keyboard towards me, so I can hit my hotkeys while I'm drawing. And I have it like on the corner of this mat, so like the little legs, because I use the little legs to like rise my, so the back of my keyboard is a little bit more elevated than the front part. And those little legs are like rocking side to side because they can't hit the desk because the middle part of my keyboard is on my mouse mat. So every time I do something, I'm just rocking it. I'm seesawing it. But sometimes I can get it at such an angle that that doesn't happen. And I can't find it today. And it's annoying the hell out of me. Sometimes I think about like, because a lot of people like theorize about what the songs Taylor Swift is going to come out with are going to be about. And it strikes me every time she comes out with an album how little like the public knows about her life, as it should be. Um, God forbid a girl have a little bit of privacy, you know? Um, like this whole beef that like she reacted to this beef. Um, and she was very like demure about it in the press, like the little bit she did say a couple of years back about it all. And so people were like, wow, what a high road for her to take. That's our Taylor Swift. And apparently I didn't read into it. I didn't look at any of the lyrics. But what I did see were a lot of people um using gifs from Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video, and also just Kendrick Lamar gifts from his performance at the Super Bowl. So, and specifically when he is looking straight at the camera, when he says, like after he says, "Hey Drake," um, and yeah, that really told me all I needed to know about maybe what the content of those lyrics were. I can also see T Swift being super petty. Like, I think one of my favorite parts about Taylor Swift is how petty she can be, admittedly. And maybe that's just because me as a person, I'm also a little petty. For example, um, I'm not the biggest fan of one of my friends' partners they're with. And I've made it no secret that I'm not a fan of them, and I have cited the reasons why I'm not a fan of them, and therefore we no longer talk about them. Um, but there's other people that I know that are also not the hugest fans of their partner, and sometimes things will like pop up, and I will be like, and like part of me will want, maybe this is the opposite of being petty. Um, I will just like send them to the friend that I know also does not like them because they'll know what I'm talking about. But my first thought is always to send it to my friend. Every single time I'm like, I should send this to my friend. And then I don't. And you know what? That's not being petty, that's called growth. The petty thing is just waiting for them to break up. That's the petty thing. They could be together 12 years and I'll still be like, when are you breaking up with that person? That's the petty part. Man, I love a good little petty song from Taylor Swift because you know what? If people are always saying like you should relate to the music. They always say that Taylor Swift finds you. Like maybe you don't like Taylor Swift's music, but then you'll hear a song from Taylor Swift when you need it the most. And sometimes it's the petty songs. you know, that finds me. Like that's what I grew up with, you know? I grew up with Pictures to Burn. Hold on, where is it? Picture to Burn by Taylor Swift. I'm sure you guys, most of you guys might recognize this. If you're my age, you might recognize the song. I just want you to know the original lyric of this was way better. But obviously we needed to keep it PG, and also it was inappropriate. Um but the original lyric here is, I realize you love yourself more than you could ever love me. So go and tell your friends that I'm obsessive and crazy. That's fine. You won't mind if I say you're gay. Is what the original lyric was. Um and obviously she chose the high road here, and she changed the lyric a couple of years later, or maybe even I don't even know how long it took for her to change this lyric. Because again, this was out during the time when like everyone was saying gay in a derogatory manner, but not like in a slur manner, but more in just associating it with something bad, right? Like if you said something that's gay, it was synonymous with bad. Um, and that's why like we don't do that anymore. Because obviously we don't want that negative connotation attached to gay. Um, but I will say I was 100% okay with saying you're gay on this one. I think it's such an antiquated, awful thing to say, especially towards a man. Especially when a man says it to a man, but also when a woman says it to a man. It's like, come on, let's grow up. Um, but she was also like 16 when she wrote this in like 2000 and what, like 9, 10, maybe. Like she was a kid when she wrote this, when we were all saying it. So like, yeah, I'm okay. I would have been okay if we kept the lyric. I'm glad she changed it, but I wish she didn't. The grown up part of me is like, yeah, I'm glad she changed that lyric. The the petty part of me, the like, you fuck that guy, the one that A Picture to Burn is about. That part of me is like, you should have kept it that way. Also, baby Taylor Swift, pop off, pop off, pop off, Papa Swift. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have let you drive it, but like, pop off, girl. Just another picture to burn. I'm a big fan of the song. It's just petty. And I love a good petty song. I love a good like fuck you song, you know? Barn. Picture to Burn is one of my top songs. One of my top Taylor Swift songs. Of all the songs she's ever released, it's one of my. She can write some scathing songs now, but they're a lot more adult. Um, and I just love a good basic petty song. And you know what? She gave me that when she was younger, so she doesn't need to do it now as she's older. Unless this new album does give me that, in which case I will. Like I was listening to this these guys listen um to the Reputation album, and we all know Reputation was like her comeback album. And after the whole Kanye debacle and the Kim Kanye debacle, which when I think about it that way, it's like I imagine like Kim and Kanye being together like last year. You know, like I always think like they just broke up. But no, I like they just got together and they just broke up is like the perpetuality I live in. But like no, they were together ages ago and they broke up ages ago, you know? Like it's been a long time. But I was listening to that album, especially as someone who doesn't keep up with the Kardashians. I don't as someone who doesn't really give a singular shit about them. Um oh, I really have no idea what's going on with them, right? So like this is her picture to burn now. The smallest man who ever lived. I love a good little bop, you know? Which is why I'm glad that we're getting like a bop album with this new one coming out. Um this new album coming out. I'm happy to hear it's mostly bops because like if she is gonna have some petty songs in there, I want them to be upbeat. I'm not gonna lie to you. She gave me an entire like 3 albums worth of like soft slow songs that are like I need some like 120 plus. Give me some 160s, 150s, a 140. Give me some even like 120s, you know? BPM songs. Get my heart racing while you are absolutely I guess the way I could describe it is like don't give me meet the meet the grams, you know? Give me a not like us. I've had a lot of meet the grams. Give me a not like us. You know, and I believe her. Because for me, the anthology, the second half of this album, are songs from the past. It's like Midnight's 3 a.m. edition, right? Like, songs written from the past, that's what I consider the anthology section of this album. For me, this is the end of the Torture Poets department. Or not this song, the next song. But like for me, like The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, that was it. That was all right, cut. I've talked about everything I needed to talk about that has happened and how I was feeling during it. Oh wow. Hell yeah. You can barely tell. I don't even know where I matched up those lines. That's crazy. My issue is that I always do that flourish at the end. Um, but yeah, this is the moving on song. That was like, this is like, oh man, takes out all of the wires and the IVs that were connecting her to the machines at the hospital. And she's like, man, that was crazy. All that life I just led. Oh man, crazy. Anyways, I'm over that now. And walks out of the hospital just perfectly fine. Because like at the end of the day, she did end up taking the miracle move on drug. She had a hell of a rebound with, and like closed, I think truly closed a chapter of her life that had been always behind her, that what if. And I know, and what ifs are fucking gnarly, man. I still think about my what ifs from high school, you know, like that was forever ago at this point. And granted, I haven't thought about it in a while, but like occasionally I'll be like, if I were to go back to high school, which I would never want to do, or like if I were to go back to college, which is also something I would never want to do, like what would I change about my life? Like what are my biggest what ifs essentially? So the fact that Taylor had the opportunity to what if, you know? Had the opportunity to see, is this something I finally get what I wanted, my what if. And it turned out to be, he turned out to be a total chode. Like, that's not her fault, right? Like, that's just a consequence of, like, and now she knows. Now she knows, hey, grass, in fact, not greener on this side. This, down the street, that neighbor, his grass, not better. All that fantasizing, all that imagining, all the dreams. It's like, yeah, not better. And it's like, wow, well, now that we're out of that, and now that we're done with that, let's move on. Now it's time for me again. It's me time. And that's why we're getting the life of a showgirl. And I do think there was a part of her life where she just didn't, I don't think she felt like she could be petty. I think she felt like she had to take the high road. maybe it's like she thought she was grown, and like when you're grown, you're supposed to be better than that, I guess. And I think what she's learned in this life, in her experience, is that no, you don't. That she doesn't have to be anything she doesn't want to be. I think she's tired of being other people's massages, and now she is choosing to live her life more authentically as her. And for her, it's like, maybe it's like, I'm not an angel, you know? Like, I'm not the height of. I'm not the height of what one, like, aspires to be. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of, and it's mostly, I think, just from her popular music, like the songs that do get popular, because like I don't think Taylor Swift ever claims to be like Madonna, you know, like Sister Madonna or whatever, Mother Madonna. I don't remember what it is. Like, I don't. She doesn't pretend to be a saint. Um, but like the music that pops off isn't like her raunchy stuff, right? Like, isn't the stuff where she's talking about like touching herself, you know, or like, you know, delicate or dress, right? Like where she's talking about doing the deed. Motherfucker. I just have to stop there because I keep getting stuck here. This feels bolder to me, but maybe it's just the color. Yeah, I feel like she felt like she had to be holier than thou back in the day. Like, I feel like she was told to like grow up. Or maybe like she hit her 30s and she felt like she had to grow up. And then after a couple of years of like trying to do that, like trying to make more mature music. I feel like maybe she just decided like maybe that life ain't for me. Speaking of that life ain't for me, let's do a quick The Life of Showgirl check. 1 hour 18 minutes 31 seconds. All right. We did take a picture to burn break, so we're not exactly 20 minutes behind anymore. Also, like, I feel like a lot of people like sit here and crucify adult celebrities for going out and like getting in relationships with a bunch of adult celebrities. And I'm just like, what kind of hypocritical shit are y'all on? Are you telling me if you're like your top 5 hottest, most attractive celebrity crushes came up to you and told you they wanted you to, that you wouldn't take an advantage of that? You're telling me that you would turn down, like, especially when you know you're hot shit, like you know that you look hot, like you know you're hot and you're confident. You're telling me you wouldn't get with those people? Some of literally the most attractive people on this earth? Like, especially if it's like a no strings attached kind of situation. Like, you are literally actually lying to yourself if you think you would do that. Like, if I look like Taylor Swift, abso-fucking-lutely. Of course, I don't have Taylor Swift's like tastes in same tastes, but I, I would take the same opportunities that looking like Taylor Swift would allow me, you know? Like, there's a lot of downsides to being a celebrity, right? Especially one as big as Taylor Swift or like music artists. Um, I would definitely take advantage of the high parts. Now, here's the thing. I would never, ever, 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 ever consider getting with a fan. If they approach me as a fan, I would never get with a fan. I also don't know if I would want to be with a famous person. Like, I feel like in the industry that would make sense, but like someone else as famous as me, like they would have to be the same level of fame or understand how to function in those spaces. Because I think there's a lot of how do you say? I think there's a lot of logistical nightmares that you have to go through as a celebrity One of them, especially for like people like Taylor Swift, is just you just have to deal with the stalkers. And I think men are starting to experience the horrors of stalkers as much as the women have. Um, so I think it's getting easier for them to understand like what they're getting into when they're with a very famous woman. Because sometimes it feels like in sickness and in health, um, for celebrities, sometimes it's like when I'm more famous than you, it's like that same issue with like if you start earning more than your partner all of a sudden, that suddenly there's an issue that you with the pay with inequality in the relationship as soon as like the woman is the one that makes more money. I think we're entering more modern times, but like the amount of times I still hear about insecure men. Dude, there's this woman on TikTok, and I hope to God it's a skit and it's a lie, and then she's just playing around. Um, like I hope to God for her sake that that is what's happening, because her piece of shit husband has said some unbelievable things to her because she cut her hair. I think like she either like pixie cut it from like long, or she either pixie cut it or she shaved it and left some. Like she didn't go bald, but like she cut it real short. Um and she did so because she wanted to she didn't want to tie her beauty with her hair as she felt she had been. Um and then when she showed it to her husband, he didn't have a healthy negative reaction to it. And I think that's the part where what she doesn't get is that, and some of the people in the comments, is that some people are like, he's allowed to have his own opinion. He's allowed not to like it. Like they should have talked about it beforehand. If she knew that he wasn't gonna like it, why would she do it? First of all, you don't need your partner's permission to do anything with your body. Especially when it's a simple cosmetic thing. Of course, you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. But there is a good way and a bad way to react to things, right? There is the normal way a normal person would react of like, oh, well, that's not my favorite thing in the world. Do you like it? Are you happy with it? This is a little weird for me. I don't know how I feel about it. And like, if you're gonna have to like give me a little bit to like get used to it, I think. Like that I feel is on the healthy side of reactions, right? Then there's a way that this man has continued to react, right? Like saying things like, he can't even look at her. She looks awful. She looks disgusting. That she is that he can't even be in the same room as her when she looks like that. How he no longer sleeps in the same bed as her. That is a child's reaction. That is not an adult person's reaction. That is a child who's reacting. Again, there are like, even if you like it so much to the point where like you really have to reconcile that you're no longer attracted to your loved one, that's a conversation you sit down and you have, and you're like, I don't like this because it makes me think X, Y, or Z, right? And then you have a whole discussion about that. But like sitting there, not actually having a discussion about it, you know, just being like, I hate this. And until your hair grows back, don't even look at me. You're disgusting. That's once again worse than a child's reaction. That is an immature person's reaction. That is, you guys aren't married and have a child type of reaction, you know? That's the kind of person that is going to never be happy with their child's self-expression. That is the number one red flag I could ever think of, you know? And that is also a man that is like, the way she cut her hair, that's the kind of hair she would have if she were going through chemotherapy. So you're telling me if she is going through the worst time of her life and she got cancer, and this is how her hair looked, this is how you would react? That you're such an immature piece of shit that you wouldn't be able to get over your personal preferences? Because, like, here's the thing. If I'm getting with someone, for like, when I'm first getting to know someone and, like, I see them for the first time and I'm like, wow, they are so attractive. Look at all of these obvious outward traits that I'm attracted to, right? Then I get to know the person and I'm like, wow, look at all these traits that this person has that make me love them more. And then they change their clothing or their style or something, and I'm like, wow, look at how I love their style. If they were to cut their hair or grow out their hair, I'll be like, wow, look how hot they still are. Like, I feel like I'm attracted to the person. And like here, and like, it doesn't even matter if that person looked better with or without long hair. Without long hair, hands down, they look better. Um, because here, oh, man, it's she just had like that cookie cutter white person hairstyle. Um, and like I know some people like that, but like I'm a little tired of seeing it. I'm gonna be real honest with you, and the fact that that's like the default hairstyle, I'm just like, man, can we like change it up just a little bit? Because some of you guys just genuinely don't look good with this hairstyle, but because that's your beauty standard, you're not reaching your full potential. Because what is attractive is personality. It's how you wear it, you know? It's the person who is wearing it that I'm attracted to, not like I'm not attracted to the hair. I'm attracted to the person underneath the hair. And I feel like that's the way with most people. But there's some people out there that are just horrific pieces of shit. And she has, as many people do, has come back onto TikTok and defended the man, as always. Just like the woman whose husband packed her dog food when she asked him to pack her lunch. Um, they always come back on they're always like religious or conservative or something. And they're always just like defending the husband. It's like, oh, it was trying to be funny, or it's, I believe in the sanctity of marriage and toughing this out and we'll get past this. Which always equates to I will fix it. I will fix me. I'm the problem. That's never, and you're never the problem, babe. Like, that's not what a partnership should be. Like, we're past getting married for convenience or for money. We get married for love nowadays. We also don't do it for like status either. Like, that's the thing. And it also then pisses me off because I'm just like, is he rich? What are you gaining out of this? You're still working. You make more money. You take care of the house and the kids and the husband and you work. Like, there was this man who, like, him and his wife were both nurses, and the wife was hugely pregnant, and he filmed her getting out of the car and like carrying a shit ton of like all of the groceries or whatever down their long hallway driveway while she's huffing and puffing back there. And then that in like a later video, he's just like, "Oh, it's like she wanted to do this. Like she's something she want." I'm like, you both just work the 12-hour shift. I don't care if she kills you, like for helping her. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab those bags and you're gonna help her out. I don't care how independent she wants to be right now. She is 8 months pregnant with your children. I could never. There's just simply some things that I could never watch my partner struggle with. Like, and I help them despite what they told me. Like there's small things, that I won't interfere with. Like those are goals that they want to reach, let pop off, But if my heavily pregnant wife with my children is waddling down my driveway, our shared driveway, after we worked after coming back from work, I simply do not care how tired I am. There is no amount of tired that would be more than she is. Like, I am not struggling, she is struggling. She has a literal parasite inside of her. Like, there is not a singular shot in hell that I'm letting her do. I don't even want her to be working, I'll be honest with you. That heavily pregnant, I need you to know, heavily pregnant, like, popping any moment now kind of pregnant. Like, I am not letting her like tie her own shoes. Like, she's not, if I can help it, she's not gonna struggle any more than she has to. And there's like some things obviously she has to struggle with herself and do herself. But like, also, we're in a partnership. This is a two-way street. I am also responsible for what is happening to your body, This is our joint decision to infect you with a parasite so we may have a baby child. I know, drives me insane though. Oh boy. But yeah, it drives me insane when those pop off. And then, you know, they continue to prove to me that there are groups of people out here that are still the worst and continue to only hurt themselves and continue terrible generational curses. And like, it really gets me when they have children, you know? Because I'm like, is this really the life you want for your child? Like, hey, maybe this is the life you want for yourself that you want to struggle with. You think that you should be punished. But like, is that what you want for your child? You want them to also experience this? You want them to know that this is how it should feel to be loved by someone? Because at certain points, I'm like, I don't think that you guys do love each other. And at that point, why are you with someone you don't love? What's the point of tying yourself with a person that you don't even like, let alone love, you know? And that goes, like, for the man, obviously, it's usually because they just want a live-in servant. But, like, women should have higher standards. Because typically, the man's not going to do that much, you know? Especially if you're in those circles. Like, obviously, once again, there are great people out there, but I'm specifically talking about these women in these horrifically traditional and toxic relationships that don't benefit them in any way, shape, or form. Like, the things that are supposed to benefit them, like, didn't even benefit people back in the day either, you know? Like, people back in the day were still in relationships with men who were broke and provided nothing. Like, broken didn't provide for the family. And like, but like back in the day, you couldn't have things as a woman, right? Like, you couldn't have a bank account, you couldn't get jobs. Like, they had excuses back in the day. Now you're out here with a full on 9 to 5, working 40 to 80 hours a week with a deadbeat man who's still an alcoholic, still wastes all your money, doesn't do anything in the house. But like now, but like you have the ability to not be with this person now. You know, back in the day, the excuses were a little bit more acceptable. But now, again, you have options. The only thing that is, like, holds some of these people back are just like their societal um ramifications. And at that point, I'm just like, at what, like, how much are you willing to torture yourself and make yourself miserable for the gaze of others, you know? I don't know, it drives me insane. And it's something that's like, that they have to learn themselves. They have to break their own generational traumas. And the rest of us all we can do is just continue to live on our lives and hope that one day they notice that they can also do better. Like, I think a lot of the time these, like, I wish I were gay so I can be in, like, this type of relationship with another woman, is because they're just comparing it to, they're just thinking about, it doesn't matter what I do, no matter if I'm in a relationship with this man or another man, they're all going to be the same. Which is a horribly sad. An extremely sad outlook on relationships. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're getting close. We're sub an hour now, I think. I say we. I mean, you guys can go do what you want after stream. I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna listen to this album, you know? Let's see. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow there is no stream. I have a game in the evening that's offline, and before that I'm going to be helping out a friend with some tech stuff. Maybe a Saturday stream could happen, but I doubt it. I don't ever promise weekend streams because I like having my weekends. Oh, sorry. Because I'm leaning over to look at this. To draw. I'm all over. Meow, meow. Taylor Swift's ever written a song from the perspective of her cats. Just never said anything. I feel like it would be pretty easy to write from the perspective of a cat. And then no one ever know that it's about a cat. Oh, this is one of my favorite songs Taylor Swift has ever written. The Prophecy. Taylor Swift showing out here that she would have majored in English in college. In fact, when she did her engagement post, the caption was your English teacher and PE teacher are getting married. And I thought that was cute. Because Taylor Swift straight up is out here, in fact, teaching the Swifties words. It actually astonishes me how many words people don't know. That people, like, in the last album, in this album, in Torture Poets Department, I think it's My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. She talks about rivulets of tears, I think she says. Um, and people didn't know what rivulets meant. And sometimes I wonder, like, where did I learn these words? And for the most part, it's just reading. For the most part, I learned most of my words from reading. Most of my words, most of my vocabulary. And from just watching TV. I grew up, maybe it's just the difference in what TV meant for me when I was a kid, when I was younger, because I've grown up in a Spanish speaking household, right? So when I listened to TV, that was my opportunity to listen to people speaking in English outside of school and outside of me and my classmates and friends, right? And like, if I wanted to learn more English, my vocabulary was never going to come from my parents. My vocabulary was always going to come from school and from books and TV and media, right? So I wonder if that's where me absorbing words in English came from. Because I've definitely learned words from like Charmed and like other WB um TV shows, right? Like I'm sure I learned things from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff like that, where I would hear a word that I'd never heard before in my entire life, but through context clues, I was able to discern like what they were talking about, right? Because you don't have to understand every single word somebody says to truly understand, like to actually understand what they're saying. So long as you understand like some key words, like you're pretty solid. And it's like also if you like can read a room, I think you're also pretty solid. Because there's still words I don't know, right? Like even listening to this or some contextual words I don't know, or phrases like hothouse flower or also ran, also fair weather friends, was also a terminology I'd never heard before. I'm starting to get hungry. I wish I still had gum. Man, I go through gum like nobody's business. I could have like a pack of gum in like easily half a week. I could go through like 10, 15 pieces. It's why I like five gum because from my experience, it lasts the longest. I get to chew it for a long time and it doesn't become like a gross tasting piece of rubber in my mouth, you know? It keeps some semblance of flavor for a long time. I wonder if as Taylor recorded these in during her European leg of her Eras tour. I wonder if like she ever talks to her partners about music along with her friends in the studio. And I wonder if like anyone was ever just like Taylor was like, "Is that too much? Is that too petty?" And they're like, because we know that Jack is messy, so Jack Antonoff. And I can imagine that that the Carls, Shellback and Max Martin are also petty queens. So I wonder if like there was some changes in her like personal life that led to her making the decision to do her reputation again, you know? To really come out and say some scathing things. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting anything scathing coming up from um the life of a showgirl. So now like I'm suddenly looking at the entire album from a different perspective before I listen to it in less than an hour now. This was the other song I was considering choosing for Taylor Swift from for the Ribbon Drive with Trooper. It was either going to be The Prophecy or Cassandra. There's a lot of songs I could have chosen even just from this one, from Torture Poets Department. And because this was like my most obsessed album that I had been listening to, it's obviously the one I had chosen from. But like there's a ton of songs on Folklore and Evermore that I could have chosen. I actually don't like it's not that I don't like this song, it just doesn't do much for me. And maybe it's just because I've never been in this situation. I just can't imagine myself and ever in like you don't have to imagine yourself or live of one of these situations to relate to music, obviously. But I feel like that's when it would mean like a lot to me. I just think it's like an all right song. This is Peter, by Taylor Swift. I recognize that some of you in fact are on the VOD, not knowing what's happening right now. So sorry that you guys can't hear the music. I do recognize that these are the moments I could be using those vectors to adjust some of these sections. But I don't wanna. It's not easy. I simply don't wanna. I believe it'll just be faster for me to do it this way. To delete and redraw a couple of lines because it's already connected pretty nicely. I think there's some romanticization of waltzy songs. So whenever like the girlies hear a waltz with like this sort of fantasy, fantastical sort of uh um audience, or like, no, not audience. It has a sort of like fantasy-esque feel to it. It has that story element, that storied element of like, because this is such a story trope, right? And especially in this case because it's about Peter Pan. Um, in reference to a song from the past also. So like this story has implications further than those that are in the words themselves. And I think that's another thing that like Taylor Swift has going for her also. She she refers to so many things and situations in metaphors that it's easy to like bring them back up because she never uses names, she never does anything like that, really. Shout out to Dear John. She really just puts it in literary, or yeah, like some literary element, right? Like there's maroon, scarlet maroon, a bunch of things in like Folklore Evermore. So like if there were ever things she wanted to reference, she could. I had a friend who was a bolter. I was her babysitter because I couldn't drink in college when I was in college because I was underage. So I was the sober one who had a choice here. Mostly sober one. Because we did in fact pregame. Oh, we're getting close. Let's do another quick album check. How close are we? What just spun here? I don't know what the fuck that is. Scroll through previous track from this artist. Oh, cute. 34 minutes. I want to finish. Oh man, the predicament. I want to finish doing these lines before I go and get some food. But we have so much of this left. Escaping. Wish I had more interesting stories from college. And I think that my most interesting stories would come from being an upperclassman, being a junior, senior. But I don't think I would have, the person I was in college wouldn't have been able to have fun in college. Because she was shy. And I'm like, and don't get me wrong, I'm still a shy person. Um, but I didn't speak up. I never spoke. I basically had no personality because I was terrified of people finding out my personality. And because I wasn't out in college, and I was terrified what that would mean because that was 2012, 13. Um, it would have been 13, 14. I would have graduated college, and a month later they would have legalized gay marriage. So that's where I was in life. Also, the people in my college weren't really my type. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't really see anyone that I was like, yes, that one. I had like crushes here and there, but like they weren't like actual. I find this person to be like super hot. This is just someone that I think is attractive. And like I was always attracted to like boring people. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty much attracted to boring people. I think because I was boring. And admittedly, I still think I'm boring. I don't think I'm a super interesting person. But even I had more going on for me back then than they did. And plus they were both straight, so there was nothing that was gonna happen there anyways. There was a couple of people that I thought were attractive in college, but like they were out of my league. Hey, Prax, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. We're just out here doing some outlining. Oh, oh, thank God it went back to where it was supposed to be. Tonight I'm going until I finish this outline, which I hope to be sooner rather than later, because I want to go get some food before I sit down and listen to the new Taylor Swift album. That's coming out in about 30 minutes. But I'm going to make myself a sandwich, so it should be fast. But yeah, this PB would have had an interest. Like if we transported my personality now and I am as a person now to PB back in 2012, 2013 when she was in college, um, this PB would have a more fun time in college and have interesting stories to tell. From 2013, 2012, did not do many interesting things. I also didn't have that many interesting friends. My upperclassmen friends weren't the interesting ones. My friends were boring. They were just homebodies. I shouldn't say they were boring. They were just like, they didn't want to do anything college related, you know? They wanted to stay home, stay in their dorm, and watch the 12-hour extended version of Lord of the Rings. Which again is fine, but like, you know, maybe if we keep it to like maybe once a year, then something we want to do on the reg. I'm the one that was always trying to like get us out to go do some at least school activities. At least 20 more minutes of music. What do I want to listen to? Hey, Wandering DM! Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in! Hello, 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 Raiders! How are you guys doing? Welcome in! Hi, 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 hi! Prax, Pope, Wandering, Werewolf, Roller. Hello, yellow, yellow, yellow. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. You love my origin? Thank you so much! I really like it. I appreciate it. I'm a really big fan of it also. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope stream went well. I really need to figure out how to add to the command so I could see what you guys were playing. What were you up to? Toss a coin. It did. Hell yeah. Witcher was lovely. Oh, nice. I love that. Oh, that's so good. I'm glad you guys had a good time playing and watching some Witcher. I am currently working on a topographical map for my Asher's Ridge game that I'm going to be playing here in late October. This is the original map, not my map. This is a map that Rory Montford, the author of the game Asher's Ridge, made. And as you can see, it's a topographical map. And the heat map is coming together. Thank you so much. That's what I lovingly call this map here. Because I have never done a topographical map in my life before. So I have been trying to figure out how to best figure out how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. So I went through a couple of avenues to try and like make this bite-sized for me to be able to best understand what I'm looking at. And what ended up working the best was this heat map. And basically the heat map is just showing me the different elevations of everything to have to handle. Hell yeah, Roller. And yeah, this was the best way for me to understand it. All it is each color is a different elevation, going from 800 at this little red dot all the way to these pinks. Both these pinks are 100 elevation, but just due to what they signify, they're different colors. But yeah, right now I'm drawing in our elevation lines, actually. It looks like I'm just outlining the colors, which I am. That's because they're the different elevations. So I'm just drawing in all the elevation lines so I can start doing the other lines here, which I guess I don't have to draw it. You can see it. It's all of these in between lines. And the reason I'm remaking the map, aside from fun, because I do like just doing maps for fun, I'm also doing it because this image comes from the book. Technically, this actually comes from her Blue Sky, but this is the same one that's inside the book. And unfortunately, when it was scaled down, it's hard to see something. So this is like where the majority. So this map is the game. Asher's Ridge is one of those systems where the system is also the story. So when you're playing the game, Asher's Ridge is a game in which you start off. To start off, it is a game in which you are playing characters inside a paranormal TV show. So what is happening is all a show. You are running a show, a paranormal TV show like X-Files, Twin Peaks, etc. So that is who you as a player are. You are an actor playing inside of this show. And it is one of those syndicated shows that has like a bajillion shows in it, episodes in it. And so each show ends with a cliffhanger, and the next one picks up on that cliffhanger. There's like, and the whole thing is, arranged like a TV show. It's all organized like a TV show with act structure and commercial breaks that are built into the game and stuff like that. And one of the things you have to do, one of the mechanics, is you have to location scout. You are location scouting. And so you pull a bunch of cards for your storyline. And so say this is not the right way to show you this. Let me show you the actual map, because I took off the legend and stuff like that. But you can see over here we have, let's look for something that's actually inside Asher's Ridge. So let's do like Brightwater and Books we're looking for F or 5 of hearts. And it's in 26C8. So I'm looking for C8. C8. There's no shot this is off in C8. I don't know how to read this. It is somewhere over here. It's a 5 of hearts. There it is. It's right there. And as you can see, it's a little hard to say, but let's say we choose that's the location we're going to do the scene in. And we decide, okay, so this is the scene. We chose our word by doing a mechanic that is taking word tiles and creating a word out of them. So let's say our word that was made was ghost, right? So the word we came up with was ghost. And we want to place our scene inside of the bookstore here. So we're like, okay, we're going to the bookstore. The scene is going to be about it has to include ghost in some way. And okay, so who's going to be in this bookstore? Well, probably the librarian, right? Or the person running the store, whoever owns the store. So, okay, one of the characters is going to be the librarian, okay? We should also probably have one of our main characters in there. So let's say my character is going to be there and other Doc's character is going to be there. Ray's occult books, exactly. And so we're like, okay, and do we want any other NPCs in there? Yeah, let's say the person we suspect is going to be in there. So suspect A is going to be in there. Okay, so our main characters, my character and Doc's character, we have to play our characters. But our third player, Trooper's not going to, his character is not going to be in the scene. So now Trooper is going to also play some of these supporting characters, these NPCs. So our librarian and suspect A. So we can all play whatever characters we want in a scene, but only you can play your main character. No one else can play your character. So now that we know whose characters are what, now we enter the scene and we know, hey, the scene has to include ghost in some way. Whether somebody says a ghost appears, someone references a ghost, someone sees a ghost, whatever it is, ghost must appear in that scene. And so boom, we play that scene. Or Moreland's from Cultist Simulator. There you go. And so we do that, and then boom, we finish the scene. And now we rinse and repeat. We start off with 5 location cards, and once we're down to 2, you must choose between those 2 cards, and one is going to be the scene you're in, and the other one's going to go to a special deck called the Escalation deck, and you pull from that deck when things are, as you could guess, escalating. So that is why this is an important map to see. So you would think like, hey, this is Asher's Ridge, so this is probably the most important part of this, right? No, there's other places around. You know, there's this place out here, there's Lookout Point, there's the falls here. And as you can see, one of my issues is once I zoom in, it gets really hard to see. But it's also hard to see these symbols and these numbers from far out. And there's no real happy medium where you could see all of this, see all of the infrastructure, and also see all the symbols and stuff that they put in some of the like smaller buildings. And like there's the military base over here, there's the ridge up there, a clearing over here, a campsite. There's another lookout point. All of these green dotted lines are walking paths. I don't know, maybe you guys know how to read topographical maps. I sure don't. But that is, there's a lot of things here that I would like to be able to read when I zoom in to look at what things are. And I can't get that from this map right now because for reasons that only the author knows, this is the quality that came out on this map. So that's where we're at. That's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are having a good time. If you gotta go, feel free to. I am, like I said, I'm going to be here until hopefully I finish this map. Or not map, but finish doing these lines. Which I hope to get done sooner rather than later because I would like to go and listen to Taylor Swift's new album that's coming out very soon. Good luck. Thank you so much. But yeah, if you have to head off, head off. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and saying hello. And thank you so much for the raid. So I appreciate it very much so. So very much. And we are on PNG PB today because I am hot. It is hot and I don't want the light on me. And also you would only be seeing the top of my head because I am on a drawing tablet and I have to look down to look at it. So you wouldn't be getting a great angle of me anyways. What I got, what I'm fantasizing about right now is a sandwich I'm gonna make after stream. And I'm fantasizing about eating that sandwich and listening to music. You know, it's the little things in life. This is something they don't really tell you when you're a kid. They don't really tell you that it's really going to be the small things in life that get you through day to day. And while choosing what you're going to eat every day for the rest of your life, it does become tedious. Man, is it also one of the highlights of your day? For some people, I know some people, food is not that big of a deal. I definitely have friends who, if they could get away with just eating like nutrition paste, they absolutely would. That could never be me. But God bless. We're also listening to the Torture Poets department. You guys got here right as the album ended. Um, but we're listening to the Torture Poets department because that's the last album that Taylor Swift came out with. Before minutes from now when her new album drops. I'm choosing to no longer check the time because I have whatever the time is, it's going to take me longer to finish this outline. But it's fine. It's a short album, so I'm also a big reaction watcher. I love watching people react to stuff, especially music. And so I'm very much also looking forward to watching people react to Taylor Swift's new album. If the music is too loud, feel free to let me know. What I hear and you hear are two different volumes. Because typically, I need things to be louder for you guys, so it comes through on stream. I was also talking about I was just talking about whatever when I was here. I was talking about how I was boring in college and how I also had boring friends in college, which didn't rectify the situation. And how PB now would be interesting in college, but PB back then would not be. I was too much of a I was too scared to like have a personality back then. And I for the most part, I also wasn't very outspoken when I was in college. One of those like I kind of just let life happen to me rather than um living life. Oh, it's a crocodile head. I heard somebody say put Torture Poets department in the top of their like all time Taylor Swift songs list the other day. Let me tell you, I don't even think it's in like my top half of songs from the album, from the anthology, that is, even. It's okay. It's an alright song. It's just not like I would not consider it the top of Taylor Swift's discography. Album Torture Poets Department, the album, great. Torture Poets Department, the song, I think it's good, but there's some things in there that I don't like just lyrically. Like the we both think that Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. I'm just like, I don't know if we should have name checked Charlie Puth there. Nothing against Charlie Puth, but I don't. It really takes me out of the song hearing his name, especially when we lead us straight to like this song, which is once again for my VOD watchers that this is My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. Oh man, heat map, come on, bud. I know I did this to myself. I'm solely responsible for the amount of work I'm doing right now. Oh. Also, I'm not trying to do a direct trace if you guys are just like, wow, you're really bad at tracing. I'm not trying to do a direct trace. Um I've raised the resolution of this image 4 times. I started off with like a solid um as close to like HD, like 1920 by 1080. I started off with the original resolution of this image, and then I raised it up by I went twice as big, and then I went twice as big again, and then I went twice as big again, and now we are at 21,000 by 16,000 is the size of our canvas with a DPI of 300. So and I did the heat map in the first iteration, the first image resolution. So things are blurry. As I mean, obviously things are blurry, but they didn't start off that way. They were actually very sharp. Um, so honestly, that's helping me out because it's allowing me not to do a direct replication of the map itself. It's a and also like blocking things out and not allowing me to see like the original map is also really helping me. And simply having the shape lets me have a little bit more creative liberty with what I'm gonna do. I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna do for the background. I do want to make it somewhat accurate, but I still want to have a little bit of fun with it. Um, so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm assuming it's gonna have to do something with colors as opposed to anything else. Because Roy Montfort also went through painstaking effort to depict trees and things like that. So I also have to choose like a way I'm gonna depict trees, and there's 2 different forest types on this map. There's a coniferous forest, and then there's I think there's a pine forest somewhere. Um, I'm not exactly sure what a coniferous tree looks like off the top of my head. So there are some things I'm going to have to do some research on before I really move on to the next steps of this map. But I thought, if nothing else, I could do the elevation lines, and then everything else can just like kind of come in afterwards because it's a topographical map. Arguably, the most important part of this map is the topography, the elevation. One day I want to make playlists for the songs that just talks about this one relationship, this one situationship he went through, like from beginning to end, starting from like I don't even know, like what is it, like the 1989 days? It's I think the first time we had a Maddie Healy reference. and then have like the end here with the smallest man who ever lived. I'm sure they exist out there, but I think it would be fun to just like make it myself. But I'm real busy right now. I have a lot of moving parts happening in the background. And then at the end of the month, at the beginning of November, I have an appointment that has me anxious. So like I'm going to be useless for like the end of the week leading into November. And I'm also going to be busy that week. So like my November crash out is going to be epic. Also make sure um to check out the Meet Circus Jam. I should really get used to talking about it. I should really get used to talking about it. Make sure to do the Meet Circus if you guys are interested in that. Wishing you peace and reassurance. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Pope. Luckily, so long as there's no other schedule appointment, my next schedule is going to be in I think it's January 1st or January 3rd. I got the appointment on my chart and I was like, excuse me? I'm also not 100% sure it's with the right doctor, but it's one of those things that it takes so long to get an appointment that I don't want to like cancel it until I talk to my doctor in or I don't want to like mess with it until I talk to my doctor in November. It's fine. It's like nothing's like awful with me. I'm fine. Um I'm just an anxious person when it comes to logistics and dealing with the healthcare system is all logistics. And so I'm a mess when I have to go to an appointment, make an appointment, make a call for something important for myself. I feel like that's very important. If I'm doing anything for myself, I'm a mess. I don't love doing it for other people, but I'm not nearly as bad when it comes to other people. I know them feels. Cardiology appointments needing to be made 3-4 months in advance. Yeah, oh my god. The like my thing came with a caveat of, ooh, it's 11 o'clock. The album just came out. Oh, Folkloric's going live so we can listen to it together. That's so sweet. Oh my god. Grubhub is doing a $0 or doing no delivery charges. I'm assuming in honor of also because they said showgirls don't pay. I appreciate it. Talk was yeah. I want to see what my message was on my chart. I'm assuming my chart is a global thing or a countrywide thing. So I'm just using it. I'm just saying it because colloquially I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. And if it's not, I'm so sorry. I could describe what my chart is. I like that they have my image on here as if in my hospital or in the system I work in or go to isn't in fact a palm reader, that they have for me. No, that's not it. I don't know where it told me, but somewhere it straight up was like, "Hey, it's real important for you to keep this and not try to reschedule it or cancel it, because you're not going to get another appointment in a timely manner." And I was like, "Sheesh, my God!" And like I knew it because when I can't remember if I called to schedule it or if my doctor um told me about it when I was at the appointment. But they were just like, yeah, they'll call you to let you know when the appointment's coming. And the fact that like I had that appointment in the beginning of August and I got it at the end of September, like this I got the appointment a couple of weeks ago. The message that I got it. And I was just like, oh. And like it made sense because when I made the appointment with this doctor, I also had to wait 3 months to get this appointment. I scheduled the appointment in August. I think in May. I think it was May when I got it. Maybe June. I had to wait a couple of months to get this appointment. And this isn't even the place I wanted to get the appointment. I wanted to get it at a clinic closer to me. Because where I have to go is a lot farther. It's across town. In a place I'm unfamiliar with, so that makes me even more anxious. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. This whole health business. I haven't had health insurance, so I've just kind of been like vibing it for the past who knows how long, how many years. All this is kind of a mess. This whole healthcare business kind of a mess. But it's fine. It'll be fine. I just um in fact, I think being stressed out about things I'm doing in October, deadlines and such like that, um is going to do a lot to just like distract me from this November appointment. I can't remember what I should have checked when I was on my chart. It's in my calendar. It's like one of the first days in November. It's like the first available day in November. And it's so fun because they just gave me in August they gave me a medicine that we both knew wasn't going to work um because insurance wouldn't let them give me the medicine they think is going to help me until I did the other treatment, which is annoying because it involved an antibiotic that I had already taken when I went to the original doctor to get this appointment. And it's a very powerful antibiotic that really wrecks your stomach. And while it wasn't terrible, it wasn't a terrible experience. It wasn't necessarily a pleasant experience. So question, does it count as a party game if it requires an antipasta? Absolutely, it would count as a party game. I literally just watched a video. Martha Stewart is apparently posting old clips of her stuff, of her old show, I guess, on TikTok. And one of the videos was of her, I wouldn't say her setting up an antipasta salad. Okay, so this meat circus thing is now a LARP. Hell yeah, let's go. You're setting up an antipasto. That's commitment right there, you know? Shout out to the antipasta woman from TikTok. I hope she's doing well. Antipasta salad. I also want you to know I had never heard of this until the antipasta lady on TikTok. I was like, what the fuck are you guys? What is this word you guys are saying? But ever since, been obsessed with them. They look delicious. Especially the one she made. Oh. I also there's a series on TikTok of this woman who like judges comically judges what you bring to a cookout or what you bring to like the group function. The potluck, I guess. But now it's like become all the functions. Because there was a trend where people will like show like I'm Destiny and I brought the drinks or whatever or I bought the mac and cheese. And you know, whenever you're doing those videos, you use I love her so much, it's so good. And so whenever you're and you know, it's like potlucks are also like group projects. You know, some people always do better than others, or put more effort into it than others. And so she'll just be like, after like it's like I'm Destiny and I brought this. She will judge you what you brought. Like she'll give it a beat and then she'll pop up on the screen and she'll be like the brazen bull for your prosecutor and your Uber driver. Or if it's really bad, something bad you brought, she'd be like Jethro. And it's so good. And I think it's also improved people's I don't know if we've just gotten a better sampling of what people bring to functions, but it definitely feels like people have upped their game for potlucks, specifically for these videos. Which God send. Because some of these are so bad. Antipas, the better version of charcuterie, yeah. And I also saw a really good one the other day on her channel. I was like, ooh, sheesh. But yeah, she's doing really well. Apparently she got I think she just hit 1 million on Instagram, which is awesome. I think she's at 3 million on TikTok. But I love her. She's the best. And now whenever like these videos, like the original videos of people showing off what they brought to the potluck show up on my For You page, sometimes I'll even get them before people go to the actual potluck. And they're just like, oh no, I made this thing and it didn't come out well. Oh no, I think I'm gonna get the braising bowl for this. And everyone in the comments is just like, oh my god, you just made me a witness. Why would you do that? You've doomed us all. It's so good. I'm such a big fan. And I love her because it really is just a court of opinion. And like sometimes I do disagree with her, and and comments will be like, "Can we get a retrial for this person?" And it's like, Your Honor, could we re-examine this, please? But it's so good. It's so funny, and I'm such a fan of it. I wish I could remember her name, but I'm terrible. I never look at the handles of people that I'm watching. I think this is why it's really important to like have some branding in what you say in a video. Because that's usually how I remember who a person is if they say their branding or their name often. It's like Sherilyn or something similar. I know it starts with an yeah, something like that. Wish I remembered. I'm sure it also wouldn't be too difficult to find the woman who judges potlucks. I'm sure you could just Google something of the like and she would show up pretty easily. What bitch? My hand is starting to hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But we're almost done, so we're gonna thug it out. But like the meaty part of my palm is starting to feel some strain. Okay, time to do a quick look around to make sure we didn't miss any of these tiny things. Because I did ignore some of these things while I was doing stuff. Did we do it? Did we hit all the elevations? I think we did. This also looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of I kind of am a big fan of like the heat map look, but like heat map with the lines on it. Honestly, I bet you the heat map plus the other elevation lines is gonna look dope also. This is like gonna become like my next background. This is gonna be my next background on my computer because I'm such a big fan of it. And with the rest of the lines that are gonna line this, it's really gonna dilute some of the really bright colors here. Oh man, but we did it. It's what I set out to do. It took us about 2 hours, I think a little bit longer. But we did it. And I'm happy, I'm proud. And we only are late about 20 minutes. I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich. And I'm gonna sit down and listen to Taylor Swift's new album. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about it next week. About what I thought of it and all of that stuff while I work on the other elevation lines for this. Again, I'm still working on the overlay. You guys got a sneak peek of it at the beginning of the stream when I forgot I had not done that on a different scene. I did it on this one, but luckily this overlay is like 4 parts that I just need to, so long as I don't accidentally delete them, don't accidentally delete them, we're Gucci. But thank you guys so much for watching, coming by. I really appreciate it. I'm getting the hiccups. Oh no. Oh no, I have the hiccups, so I guess good timing for you guys, terrible time for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Wandering DM, for the raid. And thank you guys so much for stopping by, hanging out. If you stuck around after the raid, hi, hello, I'm PB from PB Plays Inside. I use she, they pronouns, something I should have said ages ago. I am a TTRPG/RPG/ sandbox gamer. I just like to play a variety of games on this channel. I'm not gonna lie to you, I should just say variety gamer. I do a lot of streaming where I show you the prep of for a TTRPG I'm planning to run on the channel. Usually it's a solo game. This year, or this go around, I am playing with 2 other people. I'm playing a GM-less game with Trooper SJP and other doc, October 21st and 28th, at a time that is on my calendar, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It's either 7 or 8 p.m. I can't remember which of the 2 right now, but don't worry, I'll have a little do to put out next week, where I have the time on there, so we can both know what time it is. This Sunday you can find me over on Praxagora Thesmophoria's channel playing some 40k Warhammer with Praxagora Thesmophoria and Pope World Build as our GM. It's a really fun game. I am playing a a zealot who is part of the Ordos Hereticus. And it is a fun time because we just found my job that I've been sent here to do is to find out what the hell the Xeno is that is crawling around the ship. And today I just found out that it is literally or not today, but my character found out that last week that it literally is crawling around the ship. And now it's my job to find out some more, while it is our collective job to not die. So that is on Sundays, and you can find me here probably back on Monday. Oh, forget that ad, we're not doing that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to be nice to each other. Don't forget to be compassionate, and I will talk to you guys all in the next one. Bye. This time, I didn't forget to hit the buy button. I didn't just almost stop streaming immediately. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekends. I hope you guys stay safe, happy. Again, don't forget to be nice to each other. Don't forget to be compassionate. And I shall talk to you guys